you were telling me earlier about this example with your merger with SendGrid, the $3 billion breakfast burrito, and I love that. So I would love for you to share kind of the backstory of that and sort of where that came from, and how it highlights like a good example of thought
Yeah.
leadership in this case of two executives, two
Yeah.
CEOs.
This is probably my favorite story I've ever worked on. And I did it in
Okay.
collaboration with the SendGrid PR team at the time, who's now on my team. But basically, when you do a acquisition, you first announce the deal and then the deal closes several months later. And at that point, when we did acquisitions, legal wasn't comfortable with us doing any press at the announcement because they were worried it would leak, which is very fair. We actually did have a leak in a later acquisition, so I understand the concern. But then the problem is for PR, once the deal is closing, the news has been out for 3 months, and like everyone's like, okay, we already kind of know the story. There's not really a story here. So with
Right.
SendGrid, we were like, what's the meaty personal story we can bring to the table here to have someone cover this announcement and really tell like the true, like I said, putting the face to the story. And we got Jeff and Samir together and asked like, how did this deal come together? Like, had you talked on the phone? And they started telling us this story, how they happened to be on this ski trip because they shared an investor who would take all their entrepreneurs out on a ski trip every year. And Samir was unable to come to breakfast. So, because he had a call. So Jeff was out with the rest of the entrepreneurs and he ended up buying a breakfast burrito and bringing it back to Samir's room, said, I know you missed breakfast. Here's breakfast for you. And that was like the start of their conversation. Samir said he recognized like this was someone he thought was a great guy and like maybe they would share the same values, etc. So we pitched the story of the $3 billion breakfast burrito because that was the price of the deal. We